all night. Say it. I want it all night. I want it all night. Say it. I want it all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
I want it all night. Say it. I want it all night. I want it all night. Say it. I want it all night.
Hello, stranger. They've been waiting. Just as I recall that ass is still amazing. Playing, baby. Saying, baby. Love it, shit. You know I'm crazy. So go ahead and put a drink up. I'm so glad we got to link up. Yeah. Get to taking that off of me. Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't make me wait, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
I want it all night. Say it. I want it all night. I want it all night. Say it. I want it all night.
Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone. Yeah.
Claps.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. Fame's been waiting. Just as I recall that ass is still amazing. Playing, baby. I'm saying, baby. Love it, shit. You know I'm crazy. So go ahead and put a drink up. I'm so glad we got to link up. Yeah. It's just taking that off of me. Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't make me wait, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone. Yeah.
What up, though, everybody? What's going on here? Hey, everybody in the chat. Hey, everybody in the chat. Y'all, the disgraced lawyer is back at it again. Last night, at almost 1 o'clock in the morning, she submitted some documents to the court as if PBE now has this extensive criminal record. For one, as if that even fucking matter. What the fuck do her criminal record got to do with you suing her for doxing you, harassing and stalking you, with none of this shit going on that's congruent with what you, the accusations that you making? Child, we about to get into it because it's a mess. A fool, a shame, and a scandal. Okay? Let's get in here. Let me see if we should take a peek at hers first. And then we'll continue with the other documents, the rest of her documents, because, child, we got to get into, she accusing us of filing false bar complaints on her. But she said in her response to my motion to squash and dismiss, she put in there that I said that I filed a complaint against her with the OCDC, the Office of Chief Disciplinary Counsel of Missouri, but she hadn't received any information. But in the later claim from the other day, she said that we were making false complaints, bar complaints against her. And I told y'all that PBE and Anthony also put in the court documents that they filed complaints against her as well. Okay? As well. And she has a hearing coming up that she tried to present to the chief disciplinary office or whatever about the hearing. They told her she had to get counsel. So y'all remember a couple months ago when some content creators was begging for money and said that Miss Big T needed $4,500 for the attorney when they ain't had no damn court date or nothing until the damn April 15th? But they needed $4,500. They needed all this money and all this shit. They was begging. They was begging for the money. Needed the money for their attorney. Turns out, Anonymous needed an attorney so that they can set up a date for her to give her sworn statement to the Chief Disciplinary Counsel for her complaints. They said, no. You can't pro say this one, motherfucker. Because per these complaints, there's some shit going on here with you. So you need a fucking attorney that's going to advise you on what you need to be fucking doing. One that we know that's really following the damn law and procedures and processes. Yes, Miss Pris, she is still filing stuff. Today, let me just share this screen right here so y'all can see that she's actively filing shit. She's probably gonna file something after what I filed tonight. And then also, you would think that by her supposed to be in this alleged attorney, disgraced attorney, she would know all the rules, but she only know the rules when it pertains to somebody else breaking them. Okay? But everything that PBE submit, she submits something after it to copy off what and request the shit that PBE requests. And PBE ain't no attorney. I don't think. After all this shit right here, you become attorney-like, okay? Because when I read y'all this shit right here is highly intelligent. More than the rubbish that this motherfucker submitted. Yeah, let me share my screen so y'all can see that she is actively filing shit to date. Y'all see this? We still in April, correct? Y'all see all this? This is her last night. This is her yesterday over the weekend. Okay. And this is her last night. Reply to response to motion. This her. I gotta look at this and see what she got in here, because this is where she alleged that PBE got like 39 damn criminal arrest records at PBE. PBE done got her shit together today and all this shit. So let me see here. Oh, this one PBEs. Let me go back. 1 second. Let me go back. Share this tab. This is PBE's. Where is hers? Motion to strike. Motion to strike. PBE. This might be one of hers from last night. Yeah, she been filing all through the damn night, y'all. It's one of these. A PBE on her ass. See, these are all yesterday and today. These is Thursdays. Then you know she had let me see. Let me look at something else. Okay, let me share this. This is my email. So this is all, let's see right here. Since midnight last night, filing shit. Last night, 11 something. This is them filing shit. And PB been ragtagging all from the day. See this? This PBE starting from here. And this is her from 12:53. Also, maybe they put hers on the 27th because we just probably got notification on the 28th but she's filed it yesterday. But we get notification like in the wee hours of the morning once the system automatically updates it. But y'all see the times that it's updating the stuff that she putting this shit in this late? And this be the same stuff with the other case with again. Another similarity. A lot of those documents are put in on Sunday nights, on the weekends, and stuff like that. All of those motions with all them 1 million pages and shit like that. A lot of that stuff is put in the middle of the night, and a lot of it is done on Sundays and stuff like that too. And again, she's on both of these cases, one as a plaintiff, one as a defendant. Okay. Is this gonna open? 1 second. Okay. Okay, so let me start off. I'm gonna start off with this one from PBE. All right. Let me get my super chat real quick, and then we about to get into the mess. Thank you so much, Miss Bridget J, for the super chat. Lord, let me pay my dues. Thank you for court fees, court docs. This shit ain't free. I'm trying, y'all. I'm thinking about going ahead and buying the other documents from the other case. I'm thinking about it so we can really get up in it. But I can read y'all some examples of some of the other amended motions, and we're gonna see. I'm waiting to see what OWN says in their response to the fourth, okay, to the fourth amended complaint. I'm waiting on OWN to see what I'm waiting on to see what OWN say before I purchase that one. I'll see, because those are a lot, because there's so many pages. Okay, so thank you so much. Let me see here. Hey, Nessa said, I'm a little confused. Is Anonymous on the countersuit with Maurice or no? No. Oh no, she's not. She's not listed as one of the parties that's supposed to be on the countersuit. It's on the counterclaim with Maurice. It's just supposed to be Ms. Black Titanic. But like I said, the attorney that Karen Humphreys lady, I don't know if her and Anonymous know each other or the same person or what's going on with them, but the same stuff that she puts on those court documents over there on that case is very similar to the same shit. Like, it's the same verbiage, same type of verbiage. The attorneys over there on the other case, from the opposing end, like OWN, it's like failed to state a claim. The attorneys that's over here on this case with Anonymous as the plaintiff saying the same shit. Like, she's not stating the claim. Like, this shit is just rubbish. So yes, Anonymous is on a defendant. She's a defendant in that case, but she's not in a thing with the countersuit with Helen Griffin, Black Titanic. She's not on there. I don't know why, but in their complaint, the initial one, they were saying that Maurice and OWN was doing all this stuff to 3 African-American women, like trying to, do like a habit of, or, a pattern of behavior. But all of them wasn't on the countersuit. Here for Hati and her husband is just on there just as a formality because Maurice was never able to serve her. And Anonymous, I don't know why she's not on the countersuit, but I'm assuming because she must be assisting this damn lawyer in all these motherfucking damn documents, because the shit that they saying on that shit is just as crazy and delusional as the shit that she's spewing on this, that she's the plaintiff on. It's the same rubbish, Nissa. The same rubbish. Yeah, let me give y'all the money song, and we're going to get into it because we ain't got long, y'all. We do not have long. Y'all got to look at this. You would think on this shit right here that PBE was the damn attorney.
Check. All I really want to see is that I don't really need a D, I need the all a bad bitch need is
Not I should be a forensic attorney. Yeah, like I've had, cases that I've had to fight, not civil cases like this or whatever, but with big people. And Google, like Mel said, how she started her business. Google, she ain't know nothing about all that property preservation and building houses and shit like that. She just Googled she used Google, and you can use Google. And sometimes, you know, you might have an attorney friend and stuff like that that might tell you certain little stuff, and you put that to work. Like, they can't practice law in Missouri, and you might not have the money to pay them, but they'll give you some tips and stuff like that on some of the stuff you can do. That's how I did my motion to squash and dismiss and stuff like that. A friend of mine told me, you know, what to do because, you know, she misrepresented facts about serving me. So that's what I did, and, you know, gave me the basics, and I put my shit together and submitted it to court. So this is what PBE is doing right now. But this stuff is still very much so time consuming, because you have to take time out of your day to, and this stuff is business hours. So if you work during business hours, you have to take, sometimes you have to take off work. This stuff is time consuming for you to be in this shit with this motherfucker with malicious intent. She using the courtroom as her fucking, for her personal vendettas that she have against people. That shit is made up in her mind. We have to keep in mind that when she had her disciplinary hearing, they wanted to disbar her for the client breaking a client attorney privilege, and also for the stuff that she was doing, the misconduct and the unethical behavior. She was calling her ex-clients after they would fire her. She would stalk and harass them. She would threaten to report them to the IRS. If she was helping them with taxes and they hadn't paid their taxes and shit like that, but they wanted to cut ties with her, she would threaten to report them to the IRS. That's breaking client attorney privilege. She did report one of her clients to the IRS, and just so happened they had already got with another lawyer and got all their stuff together. So they didn't have any repercussions from her reporting them to the fucking IRS. And they were her clients previously. She harassed and stalked their current attorneys for monies that was not owed to her, calling them all types of the fucking night. I guess she had a client that he was in some type of accident, and there was some other people in the car with him, and he didn't want to tell her who else was in the car with him. So she just concluded in her head that he must be involved in some illegal activity and try to report him and stuff. No proof or nothing that he was involved in any type of criminal activity, but she reported him because he wouldn't tell her who was in the car with him. So she just concluded that he must be doing illegal activities and reported him, her own client. And one of them had the same last name as her. I don't know if they were related to her or they just so happened had the same last name. But per her disciplinary hearing, it says that she seen threats that were not present. Let me read y'all a direct quote from it. Okay, let me go back to mine so y'all can see what the hell is going on here. Thank you, Miss Deidre, for the $20 cash app. I'm going to take it for court documents, reports, and records. Thank you. Let me give you the money song while I pull this up. One moment, please.
Tell them that it's a magic. Money, money, green, green. Money's all I need. Money, money, green, green.
Okay, my response to her response was... Oh, we in 2025. 1 second. Okay, so y'all see here, I put in here. This is a quote from the plaintiff's last disciplinary hearing. Quote, in arguing for probation, the two attorneys wrote that McNeil was under stress at the time from caring for an ailing father, and that she suffered from, quote, 3 previously undiagnosed mental health disorders. These 3 mental health disorders caused respondent, which is McNeil, to see threats that were not there. Okay? That's what I feel like she's doing now, where she's saying that we're making terroristic threats and shit like that toward her, when she know that's not happening. I know at least not from my end. So it says she it caused her to see threats that were not there, to overreact to those perceived threats, and to blame others. I said, I fear, that's unquote. I said, I fear that the plaintiff's unfounded accusations of doxing, harassment, stalking, defamation, terroristic threats to plaintiff and her family, unquote, that the plaintiff may be either suffering from another mental health crisis or making these claims so that she could use an alleged mental health crisis to evade consequences for her continued unethical behavior. And that was from her disciplinary hearing on 9/15/2020. So I still have to read y'all the documents from the other page, from the other one that she submitted. That's 169 pages. We're not done with that, because in those documents, she states in there that she was supposed to be offered probation, I think, last June. But they didn't let her off of probation because she had complaints again with the Bar Association against her license. So she's still back in hot water, have not learned her fucking lesson, because she's still doing this fuck shit while she was on probation. Since this here, she's been on probation. When they reinstated her license after they suspended it, they put her on probation. So she was on probation and she was still doing all of this stuff that's been calculated since 2023. She's been doing this shit. Yes. Yes, y'all. She is still with the shits. So that's what I said. We wanted to get to the point to where she cannot try to get her joint stipulation to use her mental illnesses like she was having a mental health crisis or anything. Because no, even though you do suffer, it's clear that you suffer from some type of mental health disorders. All of this other stuff, this shit has been calculated from 2023, since you've been on YouTube damn near with us. 2022-23, late 2022. You've been on this same shit, setting these stuff in motion. So this is PBE's plaintiff motion to dismiss the. Oh, this is I think this might be anonymous. Plaintiff's motion to dismiss defendants Beer Lynn Calvin's counterclaim for damages under state tort law for lack of subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to Rule 12B of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted pursuant to Rule 12B, whatever, of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, and or in the alternative, plaintiffs answer with affirmation defenses to defendant Beer Lynn Calvin's counterclaim filed April 15, 2015, Doc 101. Okay. Motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, whatever. Comes now, plaintiff Saritha McNeil, Esquire, by and through counsel and pro se pursuant to federal rule, whatever, moves to the court to dismiss defendants. Okay, so this is hers. Okay, so this is the one that I told y'all was submitted last night at like 12 something at night, after almost 1 o'clock in the morning. In support of this motion, plaintiff states the following. So she want to try to dismiss PBE's counterclaim for damages under the state tort law for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Okay. 1. On April 15, defendant Beer Lynn Calvin counterclaim for damages. Legal standards. 2. The burden of proving subject matter jurisdiction belongs to the plaintiff. Okay. 3. Federal courts have jurisdiction on both federal question cases and diversity of citizenship cases. 4. In a federal statute that allows federal courts to hear cases involving the Constitution, laws, and treaties of U.S., which is referred to as federal question cases. Again, the only people that can break your constitutional rights are people from the fucking government and government officials and things like that. None of the people that she have on this docket is government officials. She did add the Orlando, Florida Police Department, and she said that was a government entity. I don't think that the police department was a government entity. I thought that was state regulated or something like that. I don't know. But she haven't even got permission to add them to the case, but she still has this case in federal court, which PBE is also arguing why is it in federal court. And the other one, the Consumer Act of 1986 or something like that, the Felicia Bryn Moore attorney already put in, like, that's a law from India that has no fucking relevance to the United States. 5. 28 USC is a federal statute that allows federal courts to hear matters in controversy that exceed 75,000 between citizens of different states. 6. Relevance, facts, and procedural history. On December 29th, okay, she's just saying that she filed the case with her and 8 individuals and 3 corporate defendants, which we all know now. She's added 11 more people onto the case. She's added Brown Skin Girl. She's added Speak With Your Girl Marcella. She's added Warner Brothers Discovery Inc., Carlos King, Maurice, Kingdom Reign, CRK Entertainment, AT&T Inc., the Orlando Police Department. Am I forgetting anybody? Child, let's move on. Let me go down because I don't want to read all this bullshit. Here we go. Plaintiff raised a federal question regarding the defendant's violation of plaintiff's First Amendment rights, to i.e. free speech, freedom of assembly, free press. We don't have the privilege of violating your First Amendment rights, any of your constitutional rights. Not YouTube, not Google, not TikTok, not any other individual defendants that she put on the original case. Okay. And we used to let her up on our panels. All the people that she's have in here used to let her up on their panels freely. So how do we violate your freedom for speech? Plaintiff also raised diversity of citizenship regarding the defendants violating plaintiff's constitutional rights under federal statutes, Missouri statutes, and Missouri common law in the December 29th complaint. Plaintiff asked for a controversy for $10 million in the December 29th complaint and ended up to $120 million in the April 22nd, 2025 amended complaint. Okay, so I told y'all that she had upped the amount, so now it's $120 million that she is suing for. Now she's requesting now $120 million. Okay, and it looks like police also have immunity to this. So I don't. She's, you know, she added a police sergeant and a police officer that they were in cahoots with Pretty Brown Eyes. She sent the police to Pretty Brown Eyes' house saying that she had a weapon and all this stuff and doing a wellness check and all this stuff on her because she said that PBE said on her live video that she was going to, I guess, unalive herself and she wanted to check on her. Okay, this is after PBE made terroristic threats to her, doxed her, harassed her, and all of this stuff. She proceeded to send the police to her house for a wellness check and said she had a weapon. The police came there with body cams and shit on. I guess PBE obtained the body cam footage and played it in a recording of her calling the police department, making the fraudulent ass motherfucking damn claims. So she's mad. So now the police department, the sergeant and the police officer that came to her house that she fucking sent them to, they are in cahoots with PBE and conspiracy to dox her and harass her and stalk her and cyber stalk her as well. Okay, just to throw out a couple more little things. Okay, and now we see the ridiculous amount of $120 million now that she is suing for, when she said in her previous document that we're going to get back into that she lost in excess yearly income of $100,000 to $150,000. So here we have a content creator that says that they were making in excess of 6 figures just from running their mouth on YouTube. Yet you are a federal attorney that you won't let us forget, Mrs. Esquire. And you can't make over $150,000? And you've been an attorney for a minute, not counting the times that you've been suspended. Because also, I need to find that information. Because also, in that, the last time that she was suspended, that wasn't the first time that she had been disciplined. She had been disciplined for something else because they referred to it. Remember when we were listening to the recording of the disciplinary hearing, a part of it, they said in that recording that her other disciplines were not related to what she was doing in this case, in that case, and that, you know, for that particular hearing. So she's been in some shit before. Nice to see me. I am not doing a voice today. Y'all so messy. Exactly, Angie B. Bitch, you was on YouTube motherfucking panels all day like you was getting paid for it. But I guess she thought she was about to get paid for it because she was going to be filing these damn frivolous ass lawsuits. So I think that's why she don't give a damn about that license, because I'm assuming that somewhere in her deranged and delusional ass motherfucking head, She thinks she's going to come up with legitimate attorneys to try to sue them, and they just gonna take it down. They just gonna take it lying down like it is nothing. Okay, I might do one of the voices for y'all. Maybe I'll do it when I'm reading the things right here. Let's see it. Let's see if we can get the voice out for her. So she says, on April 15th, defendant PBE filed her counterclaim for damages under the state tort law. Highlights of the counterclaim as follows. Oh, these for PBE. A, defendant PBE did not claim a violation of U.S. constitutional rights, federal statute, or treaty for a federal question. She didn't have to, bitch, because she not claiming that these things were violated because they ain't her. That they wasn't fucking violated with her and or you. How you gonna tell her what the fuck to say was violated? This is what the fuck she claims. Batch. Defendant Bill Calvin asked for 5 state tort claims: defamation, libel and slander, invasion of privacy, public disclosure of private facts, intentional infliction of emotional distress, abuse of process, tortious interference with business relations. That's her trying to call the damn girl job and emailing the job and trying to have her served at the job and all that type of shit. And trying to get her fired. They told her they already investigated what the fuck their claims was. Her and seems like they made complaints with PBE's job, and they investigated and didn't find that the stuff that they were claiming that PBE did from her job. Also, I didn't think about this either, but PBE, that's another complaint as well, because she claims that PBE got all their information from her job, but yet she said in her own fucking document that PBE got it from this, got information, all them people information from this, what was it, Checkmate shit, from her Checkmate account. Child, we cannot. The counterclaim does not state a federal question. Counterclaim compensatory damages does not exceed the 75 amount in the controversy under 28 U. Why do it have to? And she did an amended one where she did ask for 75,000, but she requested 10,000 first, and then she did an amended one for 75. And what do you mean it does not state a federal question? She didn't ask a federal question. She's not claiming that anything federal is about her case. She's just countersuing your raggedy ass. Do not respond. Okay. All right. Oh my God. I'll beat her ass. I'll beat your ass. Wherefore, plaintiff prays that the court enters in an order dismissing defendant Virlin Calvert counterclaim for damages under state tort law for lack of subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to rule whatever, and for such relief the court deems just and proper. Girl, goodbye. Okay, so I want to get down to some of this because I want to show y'all some of the stuff that she is claiming in here. Motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Now, again, this is what people has told The Karen Humphreys, this is what attorneys have told Karen Humphreys' lawyer. This is what people have told Anonymous in this case here. Sorry, I'm spitting everywhere. In this current case right here. But now she's using this to counter PBE back, to say something back, to respond back to PBE. Again, I thought you was the fucking attorney that went to school all these years. Why you haven't been saying any of this stuff before PBE? Every time PBE files something, she files something using the stuff that PBE said, the laws that PBE bring up. Okay? Plaintiff hereby restates that incorporates by reference as it fully said. That's paragraph 1 through 4. We ain't reading that. Thus, a well-pleaded complaint may proceed even if it strikes a savvy judge that actually proof of those facts is improfitable and that a recovery is very remote and unlikely. Meaning that her shit don't have no fucking stance and should be fucking dismissed. Even if it doesn't say anything, even if it's nothing, she's saying that the court sometime will still let it fly. To prove a prima facie case for defamation under Missouri common law requires the following: A, publication; 2, of a defamation statement, the identities of plaintiff, that is false, that is published with the requisite degree of fault, and damages the plaintiff's reputation. This might be true in Missouri, which all of these things qualify for it because you have done all of these. You published this shit in these court fucking documents. You also made defamatory statements. You also identified the person. Well, she's going to be the countersuing, so she's the plaintiff on the other end for the countersuit, and they are false. And this is true also too with what y'all did with fucking Maurice. So this is again, and again, PBE doesn't reside in Missouri. So she has to go by the defamation laws in her fucking state. But they still hold true for these. So she also put these in here for this prima facie case for libel under Missouri common law requires the following. There is malicious defamation, check. A person is the subject of the defamation, check. The defamation is made public, check. The means of defamation is a printing, writing, sign, picture, representation, or effigy. And the defamation is likely to provoke the defamed person to wrath. Check. People already said, somebody just told, Queen Wisdom just told PBE that she did too much hooping and hollering on her damn page while she was trying to fight for her, explain her innocence, prove her innocence. That was a wrath. That was her wrath. Expose the famed person to public hatred, contempt, or ridicule. Not Anonymous laying out the case for PBE. Not Anonymous laying this case out for PBE. Bitch, check. Stop cooking. Deprive the defamed person of the benefit of public confidence and social intercourse. Now, this we seen already on the live that we had watched with LB, Didum, me, Chef, Don, Prosperity Thick Girl. Who else was up there? It was on T-Talk's channel. It was some other people up there that I didn't know who they were. LB was up there, Aunt Ann was up there, and we was up there talking about this bullshitting ass doxing shit. Which again, let me reiterate. Y'all heard the live where LB made these accusations of us doxing her and that she was filing this shit on us with court and all of this, but yet court documents came from Saritha McNeil. Did y'all also pay attention to the couple of slips that LB said Anonymous's real name, Sarita? She said her name 3 times on that live, just flowed out of her mouth, as if she was very familiar with calling Anonymous Saritha. Even though now I know that her name is Saritha, I still call her Anonymous because that's what it originated as. She said she only knew her from this YouTube. And then after she said her name so freely, then she started referring to her as the lawyer lady, as if to disassociate herself from her. She said she had a twin sister. Again, Anonymous has twin sisters. Okay. One of which I've seen on around here on YouTube. She used to be on panels drunk as fuck, in my opinion. Okay. She also admits that she suffers from mental health issues as well. She has a YouTube channel as well. And guess what else? She lives in Huntsville, Alabama as well. Okay? So this is all stuff that she's doing, like really proving PBE's case. The defendant conduct was extreme and outrageous. This is extreme and outrageous for emotional to prove emotional distress. Your conduct is extreme and outrageous. Saying that people is doxing you or continues to dox you and stuff like that when you can only be doxed one time. You are a federal attorney. You know the meaning of fucking doxing. So you know you can only be doxed one time, which is not doxing you because you said your real name on YouTube, on a public platform, on the Silver's channel. Okay. The conduct was intentional or done reckless. This is all proving her case. All this shit fits for emotional distress, bitch. The conduct causes a severe emotional distress that results in bodily harm to the plaintiff. Yes, this is. The conduct must have been intended only to cause extreme emotional distress to the victim. What other reason do you have but to cause emotional distress and have people attacking us for the shit that you're saying that we're doing? We have misdiagnosis all on her YouTube channel. We had True Tea on Here for Hot Tea's podcast channel. At the time, it was True Teas Boulevard, saying that we have been in this court documents for doxing her. We're doxing her. We're in here for doxing and harassing and making terroristic threats and stalking you, cyber stalking you. When you have, I know for a fact, with me, you have no fucking content of me stalking you, cyber or motherfucker otherwise. No proof. No proof of a terroristic threat because it never happened. So I can only speak on this piece as it relates to me, that this is a blatant lie. And this was intentionally for people to spew these fucking horrendous things out over to you all through the YouTube to tarnish people's reputation. The conduct must have been so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree as to go beyond all possible bounds of decency and to be regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. This is unfucking civilized. To put this shit in a fucking court document is uncivilized. To even request the amount of money that you're requesting, but you can't make more than $150,000 a year as a fucking federal attorney is uncivilized and intolerable. Utterly. Thank you again, Miss Bridget J, for the super chat. Has anyone seen proof of her legal credentials? Yeah, I didn't see proof of her legal credentials, but she is listed in the bar. So she has a bar number. So she is an attorney. She did pass the bar. I think she has license in 2 states, but like I said, probably not for long, okay? Because she has at least 5 complaints. Not to mention that each individual person may have filed more than just 1 complaint against her.
Check. All I really want to see is us. I don't really need a D, I need us. All a bad bitch need is us.
So yes, and then this is the claims of abusive process requires the following: an illegal, improper, perverted use of process. This is all what you're doing. You're misrepresenting the facts, because I told y'all, my attorney friend said the court don't like when you say you're lying about this. You have to say they misrepresented the facts on serving people. For one, you tried to serve her via an authorized agent that you fucking chose, not was authorized by her, but that you chose through AT&T Inc. The head legal person, the senior legal attorney at AT&T Inc. told your raggedy ass she does not work here, and this is not proper process of service. Do not send shit back here. Do not come back round this motherfucker for her or us. But here we are. She done added them to the thing because Kate went off on her ass, and I read the shit publicly of what Kate said. Yep. So she's pissed at Kate. Again, personal vendetta. That's improper. It's perverted. Okay? You want to come down that stripper pole behind PBE. It's perverted. Okay? You then proceeded to respond to Kate in the email and told Kate, the senior legal attorney of AT&T Inc. in Delaware, that you will serve her, meaning that in the future, you're going to serve her. But instead of doing that, you submitted that it was returned executed, and you submitted for a default judgment when she didn't reply because she had not been served. So it was nothing for her to reply to, since you knew you hadn't served her, since Kate told you that was not proper process of service, and you acknowledged that it was not, and that you would proceed to serve her. But yet, instead of proceeding to serve her properly, you improperly and illegally filed documents with the court that said that you had served her, that it was returned executed. And then you proceeded to file for a default judgment. This is neither warranted nor authorized by the process, done with an improper purpose. All of this shit is improper purpose. You don't have no reason because you know and you can't present any of the facts to this shit in no discovery because it didn't fucking happen. Resulting in damage. One second. I'm trying to find a part on here where she just a snippet of when she's talking about PBEs, like a criminal history, like she got 39 counts of criminal history and all this shit. And what the fuck does that have to do with any of this? And then just making this shit up, just like she talking about in the documents again. That she confirmed that Maurice's alias is Maurice Rasheen Scott. That's why she got him on this document in this lawsuit instead of countersuing him on the other lawsuit where he's suing her ass for defamation. She got him over here and added him to this trying to add him to this lawsuit. But I think she only did that because I think she know that the judge is not going to allow her to add 11 more people to this shit. Hence why she added Kingdom Reign to this shit instead of once the judge dismissed on for the third fucking time, will dismiss your countersuit completely. You want to now do another amended complaint. Instead of adding Kingdom Reign to it, you still trying to do on and fucking, well, I'll say Ken Humphreys is adding them on and Maurice again. Instead of adding Kingdom Reign to the shit, because I say again, Maurice admitted on his damn public service announcement about the defamation videos that he consulted with Carlos, not on. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Plaintiff believes that defendant Vera Lynn Calvin counterclaims fails to meet pleading standards for court one, defamation, libel, slander, because she fails to allege with particularly the following. No, her shit is very detailed, and I'm going to read it to y'all. The specific defamatory statements in section 3, factual background. The time, place, or medium of publication, either oral or written. She ain't gotta go back to none of the shit. She can get your ass for defamation just from these fucking court documents, bitch. How such statements are false. Evidence of actual harm. The actual harm is all over YouTube. The video links that she included with motherfuckers saying, it's PBE, 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 it's PBE. That's her evidence. All over fucking YouTube. Every time PBE bring her ass in the damn chat, people like, get the fuck on, PBE. That's the motherfucking actual harm, bitch. Plaintiff believes defendant Vera Lynn Calvin is providing conclusions to reputational harm that is insufficient. Courts require specificity in defamation pleadings. First of all, these are her motherfucking allegations. Why you ain't provide any specificities in your motherfucking shit where you claiming people doxing you and shit like that? And even the one that she put in there that me and the Gossip Girls doxed her ass or allowed a person in the chat to dox her, she put in that motherfucker that the person said S. McNeil, which she said she referred to as. They called her an attorney, which she said she was. They didn't say her fucking first name. They said S. McNeil. Okay, the factual background per her. She denies each and every allegation contained in paragraph 5 in defendant's counterclaim. Denies each and every allegation. Okay, so she just denies everything. Claims for relief. She just denies everything. I know you fucking lying. Plaintiff believes that defendant Vera Lynn Calvin claims fails to meet pleading standards for Court 3, intentional infliction of emotional harm, because it is not supported by extreme conduct for the following reasons. 1, said defendant has not pled any conduct raising to the required level of extreme and outrageous. Bitch, have you been present in these motherfucking documents that you've been fucking submitting? Conduct as defined by Missouri courts, which requires conduct so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree as to go beyond all possible bounds of decency. Sorry. Mere legal disputes, online commentary, or public statements about a pending case does not constitute intentional infliction of emotional distress. What does? Because that's all you have is shit that happened on motherfucking line. That's all you cited in your motherfucking complaints is shit that you claim happened online. And legal disputes can cause you motherfucking emotional distress, especially when they're fibrous. Unclean hands. Let's get into this. Defendant Vera Lynn Calvin is not entitled to the equitable relief in as much as said defendant has been guilty of inequitable conduct, and has failed to come into equity with clean hands. And that defendant Vera Lynn Calvin continues, here she go with her defamation, to dox, stalk, harass, and threaten plaintiff Saretha McNeil, Esquire. Why you ain't, okay, where's your proof at? Where's your proof of this right here? Who is a federal attorney licensed in the state of Missouri as described in the December 29, 2023 complaint and April 22nd, 2025 amended complaint from October 22, 2023 to present. Also, defendant PBE has 38 criminal arrests and or convictions as provided in her February 13, 2025 comprehensive report that Special process server, G-Man private investigative services provided to the plaintiff, bitch. I cannot. Again, she's talking here about PBE having unclean hands. What do her 38 criminal arrests and or convictions have to do with this? That you just found out G-Man Private Investigative Services provided you with this background history on February 13th. What the fuck that got to do with some shit that you filed December 29th, 2023? A copy of the February 13, 2025 comprehensive report issued by G-Man Private Investigative Services is incorporated by reference and attached herein at Exhibit 1. Now, mind you, this is around a time when people was begging for money for the GoFundMe for Black Titanic as well. Keep these dates in mind, because around these dates is when they were consistently begging for money. PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, every damn thing. Send it any damn way, send it by a fucking airplane or a damn stool pigeon, okay? As long as you drop the money and donate. Why are you hiring a private investigator for her? For what? You already contacted the police and tried to make police reports against her. You already fucking tried to get protection orders against her, saying that I think that y'all was in a relationship and that y'all resided together for domestic violence. Most recently, defendant PBE was arrested by Orlando, Florida police officer on July 26, 2024, outlining her lawlessness and other actions showing she has unclean hands and is acting in bad faith and filing her countersuit. Again, what the fuck does her being arrested in last year in July got to do with her filing a countersuit against your crazy ass this year? And again, this is another way for her to try to put out shit about people on these fucking cases that has nothing to do with nothing. Because she just told y'all the rules of when you suing for certain shit. But yet, here she is breaking every last one of the rules that she just fucking mentioned. Actually proving Pretty Brown Eyes fucking countersuit of defamation, trying to cause reputational harm, extreme emotional distress, because none of this is relevant to what the fuck you are suing for. How is she harassing and stalking you, but yet you hiring private investigators for her information? Why? And if somebody had 38 criminal arrests and or convictions to date, I would be leaving them the fuck alone. Okay? Said defendant arrest record is provided to the public at the 9th Judicial Circuit Court serving Orange County. The circuit court? A copy of the July 26, 24 ICJIS arrest affidavit for Vera Lynn Calvin is incorporated in here. Also, look at this. See here, look at this. And then I'm gonna move on. Because I want y'all to see how PBE got in that ass. Defendant Vera Lynn Calvin is attacking plaintiff in subsequent pleadings and or motions filed with this court for filing for federal bankruptcy protection in Missouri. What? Said defendant filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection at the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in the Middle District of Florida, October 25th, 2000. I cannot. And she provided an exhibit in here. Bitch, didn't you just file for bankruptcy 2 years ago in 2023 or 22? I filed for bankruptcy in 2016 and bought the file for it now. The fuck? What the fuck does this have to do with anything? Why do her bankruptcy damn near 25 years ago got to do with anything? If this court don't stop this bitch, they might be having a lawsuit on their hands. She is a lawyer. She is a lawyer. She knows better than this. This is her fucking unclean hands. Yes, Nessa, this is the harassment. This is harassment. This is stalking. This is cyberbullying. This is cyber stalking. And you using the fucking process of the court to do it. And now you mad that she's filing rebuttals to your shit in fucking court on your stupid ass, bitch. We ain't done. Like, be fucking for real, Anonymous. Again, just blatant no regard for the law. Attorneys and law enforcement and shit like that, they're held to a higher standard when it comes to the fucking law. So this bitch, you're gonna have to answer to this shit. All this, keep going. Yeah, keep doing that shit. Because you only digging the hole even worse for your ass. Again, she's trying to play this crazy shit. But you know what the fuck you're doing. You do suffer from mental illness. But this shit right here, you know what the fuck you doing. Let me get into what PBE done filed. Just some snippets of what she done filed. Right, Angie B. How is her bankruptcy, her filing for bankruptcy, got to do with you with clean hands and filing a fucking report? You filed bankruptcy too, bitch. So this is defendant Vera Lynn Calvin's opposition to plaintiff's response to motion for default, motion to strike, and request for sanction. Defendant PBE respectfully submits the opposition to plaintiff Saritha McNeil's response to motion for a default, moves to strike plaintiff's filings under Rule 12F, and respectfully requests that the court impose sanctions for plaintiff's ongoing abuse of the judicial system process. Okay? Introduction. Plaintiff's response is another example of her bad faith pattern of harassment, factual misrepresentation, and improper use of the court system. Plaintiff falsely asserts that she properly served defendant. However, the undisputed facts and the governing rules of procedure makes clear that plaintiff's service attempt was invalid, untimely, and knowingly improper. For one, it's harassment because the judge told her in an order made on January 21st, I believe, of 2025, that if you didn't have the remaining defendants served by February the 17th, that she was dismissing them off the case. And those was like, it was me, Chef Don Don, I think Thick Girl, PBE. I want to say, drop the mic, the Felicia lady, and Terrence. Moreover, plaintiff's history of filing false, harassing, and scandalous pleadings, both in this case and in prior proceedings, demonstrates the need for the court intervention to strike her filings and prevent further abuse. Okay? Background. 1. Plaintiff attempts to serve defendant by mailing documents via certified mail to AT&T's corporate address without obtaining defendant's signature or a waiver of service. 2. Plaintiff was advised in writing by Kate Macram, senior legal counsel for AT&T Services, Inc., that her service attempt was invalid because AT&T is not defendant's personal agent for service and because defendant did not authorize service through the corporate entity. 3. Plaintiff was ordered by this court to properly serve defendant by February 17, 2025. Plaintiff failed to do so. So why the fuck are you sending a process server to her after this fucking date? After that, that's fucking harassment. You doing what the fuck you want to do. And she know this shit is automatic through the court. Why she got all these fucking default judgments on it? Because if she could get some money from them default judgments, you know she would have did that shit already. She know this shit is automatic, and the judge haven't looked at the shit. If they don't have a response by certain date, they automatically take into account that what she's submitting is true and facts. She's an attorney. She knows this. 4. Plaintiff now attempts to bootstrap later information, such as defendant's court filings and email communications, into retroactive proof of service. This is legally irrelevant. Service must be valid at the time it is made, not later. Plaintiff accusations that plaintiff evaded service are baseless. Defendant and evading process of service, that's not illegal. Okay? That's not illegal. Bitch, catch me if you can. Okay? Okay, I said that one. 6. Plaintiff's improper default filings were made without any factual basis and without authorization from the court, as no motion for reconsideration regarding service was ever granted. She never got approval from the judge to extend the date that she could serve people. argument. Plaintiff failed to officiate proper service. Service of process on an individual defendant must comply with Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 4E, certified mail without an executed waiver is insufficient. Service must be personal or in strict compliance with state law, neither which occurred here. AT&T's corporate registered agent was not defendant's agent for service, and mailing documents to a corporate address does not satisfy the requirements of Rule 4. Plaintiff's default request is invalid. Default judgments are strongly disfavored, and courts resolve doubts in favor of deceding cases on their merits. Where service is defective, default cannot stand. Plaintiff's default request rests on invalid service attempts and must be vacated. Period. Plaintiffs file and demonstrate a pattern of abuse. Plaintiffs filing follow a pattern of abusive, harassing litigation tactics documented in prior disciplinary proceedings. Plaintiff has, and we've heard some of those proceedings, right? We've heard some of those proceedings. What we need to do now is I need to get into what her misconduct that she had before the last proceedings in 2020. Because in that hearing, they talked about other misconduct that she had been punished for and disciplined for. And again, until I think her license was reinstated 2022. And her probation was set to end 2024, June of last year, but it was not reinstated. Her probation was not dropped because she had further complaints with the OCDC. Okay. Plaintiff has filed meritless protective order petitions, abandoned court hearings, fabricated restraining order claims, and has continued to weaponize federal litigation against private individuals without cause. This pattern warrants court intervention to prevent further misuse of judicial resources. Like I told y'all, when we are done with this bitch, she not gonna be able to write a fucking college essay for a motherfucker, okay? Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, defendant respectfully requests that this court, 1, strike plaintiff's response to motion for default, vacate any default entered against defendant, impose sanctions against plaintiff for abusive litigation practices, and grant any such further relief as this court deems just and appropriate. Declaration of Virulent Calvin declare under penalty and perjury pursuant to whatever. 1, I am a defendant in the above captured matter. I was never personally served with process in this lawsuit. 3, plaintiff attempted to mail documents to AT&T Corporation. Did I read all this already? This is the same thing that already was. Oh, wait. Nope, let me read it. Plaintiff did not obtain a signed waiver of service from me. AT&T legal consultant Kate advised plaintiff that service on AT&T was improper and not accepted on my behalf. 6, I first became fully aware of this litigation after receiving electronic notice through court filings and communication through my counsel. 7, plaintiff has continued to file scandalous and materially false pleadings designed to harass and intimidate me without any factual or legal basis. I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. Ooh. Supporting exhibits for the motion to strike amended complaint. Exhibit A, screenshots from Melissa Scott, well, She Talk With Your Girl, YouTube live stream encouraging harassment and threats. Exhibit B, March 28, 2025, letter from the legal Kate that we read that already. Exhibit C, Missouri Supreme Court disciplinary brief against Aretha McNeil documenting prior ethical violations and mental health findings. Oh, tell Brian I said thank you, little cutie pie. How old is he? It's like, no, I'm just playing. Exhibit D, cease and desist letters dated October 25th, 2023 from Aretha L. McNeil admitting unauthorized practice of law and pro bono representation. Wait a minute. So So when she was saying that she was representing PBE, was she still under suspension? Was she still under suspension when she's supposedly providing legal services pro bono to PBE while she was still under suspension? Ooh, ooh, ooh. And PBE has those recordings as well, y'all. So we might have to play them on Patreon as well because they're not on the Silver's channel any longer for our access or on Tea Talk With Your Girl channel for access. So we might have to get over to Patreon and watch these other proceedings because she might have fucked herself again. Exhibit E is defendant's verified declaration in support to motion to strike. What is this? Okay, so she provide transcripts of this. I'm assuming Tea Talks With Your Girl channel. That's the letter from AT&T. This is her email back to her. Where she says, please be advised that defendant Vera Lynn Calvin has been included in this action due to her access to and acquisition of information from a relevant database while acting within the scope of her employment. Meaning that she used AT&T's database to obtain information, which she said in her other motherfucking document that we just read, was it yesterday or the day before, that PBE obtained the information from Checkmate, from her Checkmate account. Remember that? Y'all remember that? This kind of... Okay, here we go. So I told y'all this one right here is where Kate is telling her, bitch, that's not proper service, right? And here she is. Kate tells her, to the extent you are attempting to officiate service on Miss Calvin by serving AT&T Inc., such an attempt is improper. Okay? And then here she is, same day email. She says, while AT&T Inc. is not named as a party, the actions of Miss Calvin in her professional capacity are central to the issues presented. Miss Calvin will be properly served in accordance with the equitable rules of civil procedure. Did she do that? No. This was what? March 28th? No. She proceeded to file for a default judgment on, was it April 13th or something? April 11th. Almost 2 weeks later, you still motion for entry of clerk's default against defendant Vera Lynn Calvin. So these are her defaults and stuff like that. I mean, her exhibits here. Oh, wait a minute. She got some. Oh, wait. Let's read this. Let's read this. Argument. Response in support of information point relied on to. Respondent agrees that the Supreme Court should indefinitely suspend. Oh, this is from her disciplinary hearing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. Let's read some of this. Yep, let's read some of this. Let me go back up. Response to points relied on. Respondent concedes informants. Point relied on 1. Respondent in support of information point relied on 2. Respondent agreed that the Supreme Court should indefinitely suspend respondent's license with no leave to apply for reinstatement for 1 year, stay the suspension, and place respondent on probation for 3 years because respondent's mental health issues explain and mitigate the level of discipline this court should impose, and with proper mental health treatment, respondent is unlikely to harm the public or cause the courts or profession to fail into disrepute. I don't know that word. We see that has not happened. Quite the contrary has happened. She is very much so now a harm to the public. So I don't know if she has had improper mental health treatment. I don't know if it's per this mental health professional that she has that has mental what she say is intelligence connections. Okay. Here we go. Respondent agrees that the Supreme Court should indefinitely suspend respondent's license with no leave to apply for reinstatement for 1 year, stay the suspension, and place respondent on probation for 3 years because respondent's mental health issues explained. Okay, we did that. Unhackling it up. They fucked around and found out. Okay. Respondent committed misconduct in 3 separate fee disputes in the summer and fall of 2018. So we have a long road ahead of us, okay? Because she was just put in front of the disciplinary board for these disciplines like in 2020. these actions happened in 2018. So we got a long road ahead of us, but we in for it. Prior to these 3 instances, no one had accused respondent of misconduct in regards to how she collected fees from her clients. Now, this is the part where they said that she had been disciplined before, but it wasn't for like the fee disputes. Remember remember her lawyer was saying something like that? Like it wasn't for these type of infractions. It was for something else, right? That we need to find out. After this time period, there have been no bar complaints whatsoever against respondent. However, there is absolutely no dispute that that the respondent violated her ethical obligation in regards to the 3 fee disputes for which she is charged in this case. Yes, it was. That person just didn't have any consequences because she violated attorney-client privilege by reporting them to the IRS. Okay, let me see here. In regards to her client, Willie and Teresa Smith, respondent called them late at night and used abusive language to collect legal fees that they owed her. She threatened Joseph Taylor, a former client, that she knew about lies he had told in regards to his personal injury claim and that these lies would come out if she sued him for fraudulently inducing her to enter into a contingent fee agreement with him. So basically, she intimidated him to go ahead and pay or sign off on a fee agreement with her, or she was going to sue him and put all of this illegal shit that she said that he was doing out. To avoid this, respondent demanded that Ms. Taylor pay her $350 to release her attorney's lien on his personal injury claim, which Mr. Taylor eventually did. Respondent threatened another former client, Virginia McNeil, with revealing her illegal acts if she did not settle a fee suit that respondent had brought. Respondent then proceeded to report to the IRS that Ms. McNeil had not paid taxes for several years. However, Ms. McNeil had filed her back taxes by the time the respondent's report. So if you go to your attorney and you're telling them that you might have did something illegal, they're your attorney. They're not supposed to release that shit to nobody. This is what she did. She threatened to tell on them if they didn't pay her for services and all that type of stuff. And this was after they fired her. In regard to both Joseph and Miss McNeil, respondent repeatedly told their successor counsel that she had a right to be paid for work performed on unrealized contingent fee contracts and to reveal confidences as there was a fee dispute. Respondent repeatedly made these claims without having done research to support her opinion. She also continues to insist on the above even after her client's new counsel corrected her. So the real attorney that follow the ethical rules and shit like that, like, bitch, you can't threaten it. You can't release whatever the fuck they told you. You can't release that shit because they won't pay you. Doing whatever the fuck she want to do. Respondent filed a suit against Miss McNeil in which she made frivolous objections to discovery, in which she eventually settled for $6,000. She tried to get the lady to pay her like $15,000 or something like that. Respondent does not dispute that the above has occurred and constitutes violations of ethical duties for which informant has charged her with. Similarly, informant does not dispute that mitigating factors exist that warrant a downward deviation in the discipline imposed. Respondent has expressed remorse, has made full and free disclosure to the informant, and had a cooperative attitude toward the proceedings. She was also stressed financially, I bet you are, and about her father's health when the misconduct occurred. Not to mention that she accused her father of doxing her. When she was contacted or in communication with one of the gossip girls, when we were trying to comfort her after she was doxed, that we thought she was fucking doxed, she accused her own father of orchestrating this with Anthony Lofties to dox her. She said it was her daddy, her own father. But he's sick and shut in, and you using him as a way to get out of this trouble for this misconduct. In addition to the above mitigating factors, respondents suffer from 3 previously undiagnosed mental health disorders. These 3 mental health disorders cause respondents to see threats that were not there, to overreact to those perceived threats, and to blame others. Dr. Elizabeth, an independent medical health examiner, has opined that respondents' conditions contributed to cause the above misconduct through respondents' unthinking, angry escalation. Equally important, the doctor has stated that if respondents' mental disorders that led to that behavior are treated, then respondent is unlikely to harm the public. We see now that these things, this is now it's highly likely that she's causing harm to the public, because if she's accusing me of making terroristic threats to her, I don't know what the fuck she's going to do, because again, it says she seen threats that were not there, overreacted to perceived threats, and to blame others. To the end, respondent is currently in treatment and is committed to obtaining treatment even after her discipline ends. This shit is given untreated. The above mitigating factors should bear heavily on the discipline imposed on respondent, which is why, after interviewing her exhaustively and in detail, the panel recommended an indefinite suspension with leave to reapply in 1 year, but stayed that suspension subject to the plaintiff respondent successfully completing 3 years of probation with terms to ensure that she gets treatment she needs. But we know that she has been having bar complaints against her while on probation, and they're continuously rolling in. To date, rolling in new complaints. This court should attempt. So I want to know, how did they track her course of treatment? How are they tracking these things while she's on probation? Because in my opinion, it's obvious and clear that treatment has not continued, or she's not taking this shit serious, or she's 51 faking people out, or it's time to be 5150'd. Okay? This court should accept the panel's recommendation for discipline because, given the mitigating factor, it is a reasonable and appropriate penalty for the misconduct that the respondent has admitted. It's more. It is more. We're going to read this tomorrow, y'all. We're going to read this tomorrow because it's other stuff in this document that is very important to this case. As it opposed to even other content creators that's included in this stuff. It's other content creators that has been contributing to this damn delinquency of this damn attorney. And we all need to hear about it. This stuff is not right. This is not right. People trying to live their motherfucking lives, even coming on YouTube, creating their channels, and then here these misfits are congregating to cause divide, division, discord throughout people that's just trying to give commentary and shit on YouTube. To be fucking continued. To be continued, guys. To be continued. Again, this is my damn commentary. I am talking about these court cases. I am talking about this because these things are serious. This shit is for real. This is what she's submitting to these courts. A lot of these people in these documents are professionals. Even with OWN, the stuff that they're accusing OWN and stuff of, that's so far and outrageous, it's utterly ridiculous. And it's defamation. Because for one, we're content creators. When people Google our fucking names, this bullshit is coming up. So again, anything else is going to be unfucking civilized. We're going to continue on with the reading of these documents to be continued because she wasn't done with her ass. It's way more. She has more, and she has included other co-conspirators with her as well. We need to break down and show you guys all of this stuff that has been going on for years. Unbeknownst to us, that they were putting us in shit that we didn't even know they were setting us up for. So yes, she accused her own father of conspiring with Anthony to dox her, to get that information out to the content creators that released it. Her own father. The one that she was so concerned with his failing health that she did all this shit to them clients and shit for. Again, she has had mental. Y'all see that they said that she had three mental health diagnoses. I don't know what they are. I don't have to know. And also, her sister that lives in Huntsville, Alabama, that she never disclosed to everybody. But her sister that lives in Huntsville, she also has a YouTube channel. She talks about that on her YouTube channel as well, of her also suffering from mental health issues. So this may be something that runs in her family. Again, this is one of her twin sisters. And again, LB was on that panel, Tea Talk with Your Girl panel, saying that she had a twin sister. And that we accused us of doxing her, yet Anonymous is suing for doxing. Yep. So yeah, we getting into this stuff. Yes, jury twin number 22 is on the fucking case. I don't give a fuck what y'all do in the chat. I told y'all, whoever come in my chat with that bullshit, you be careful, because you will get your ass reported. Because also there is a such thing as third-party harassment. When you have police reports and stuff like that, when you make police reports on people harassing you, and then the police contact them and they may stop harassing you, but then they have other people doing it on their behalf, they can get that paperwork as well. Them boys can get in your life as well. So keep playing around with your friends and think that you can use your mental health diagnoses to get out of trouble. You can't. You guys have been warned. Reporting. I'm not reacting to the bullshit. I'm reporting the bullshit to the Detroit Police Department. Adding on to police reports that's already filed, if you want that. Okay? So don't get yourself in the pickle because you want to spew out bullshit for your friends. Do not get yourself in a pickle. Because once we have these things down to the wire in criminal court, it makes civil court that much easier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my therapist will tell you about the emotional distress. All right. So yeah, we're gonna keep it at that. We will see y'all tomorrow. I think Gossip Girls tomorrow is on my channel. But y'all know it's gonna be court documents. So okay. So we back at it. Y'all have a good night. Thank everybody for the cash apps and the super chats. Those help tremendously for these court documents. Okay, that shit ain't free, but it helps tremendously, and I love y'all and thank y'all so much. And thank you for your support, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. We on it still. We continue. We on it. All right. Bye.